Sarah. No. We're going.
Program. Hello, how are you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm Bob Patterson, Director of the University's Evening, Summer, and Continuing Education Program. Before we continue, those of you that have extra seats, empty seats next to you, would you raise your hand? All of you that are standing in the back, find a hand so you can find a seat. There seems to be quite a few seats, especially up here close to the front. Raise your hands again, please. Thank you. SMU is pleased to host its 13th annual Talent Search Identification Program. And on behalf of the university, I want to give a special welcome to all the students that will be recognized today, to their parents, relatives, and friends. This is a real honor. I would like to introduce now Ms. Jeanette Covington, who brings greetings from the Texas Education Association.
Thank you. It is my pleasure this afternoon to bring greetings to you from the Texas Education Agency. I extend sincere congratulations to you students for the accomplishments that you have attained thus far in your education. Those congratulations are also extended to you parents and family members. You have played a vital role in supporting and encouraging your students to achieve this level of success. Also, on behalf of the agency this afternoon, I would like to say thank you, a big heartfelt warm thank you to the teachers, counselors, and administrators who are here today too. By no means are you to be slighted in these congratulations, because you see it is because of your efforts as well that these students that we're recognizing today are going to be honored, and we thank you for your role in that. The recognition that is being bestowed upon you students this afternoon relates a powerful message to all of us. This is a message of the potential that you have. I would like to ask you students to stop right now and think for a few minutes this afternoon about that inner feeling that you're experiencing this afternoon. This is a feeling, I'm sure, of pride. It is an intrinsic feeling that comes only when you know that you have done your best and that you have done a good job. I'd like for you students to think very consciously about that feeling right now. What does it feel like? Because you're going to need to reflect in later years and remember that that's a feeling that cannot be bought. Nobody can give it to you. You students must make a conscious decision about whether or not you will use your ability wisely and the potential that you have. There will be many times when your friends in the 8th grade and in high school are going to say things to you to indicate that there's a lot more fun than working on your schoolwork and achieving intellectual attainment. Someone once said that the road to success is paved with a lot of parking places along the way. What I would like to ask you to do is not to park too long on that road. Only park there long enough to reflect about what this feeling is that you have today. The feeling from accomplishing something, and then move on down that road until you have attained success. One of the nice things about a statewide recognition ceremony is that it provides you the time and the opportunity to meet other students like yourselves, students who have the same values that you have. And I would like to encourage you this afternoon after the ceremony and during the reception to introduce yourself to other students. In this way, you might form a new network of support, one that will cause you to have friends all across this state that you can stay in touch with. And when you're feeling a little down and you feel that your peers perhaps don't value the things you do, you have a new network to reach out to. All of you have obviously scored extremely high on the SAT or the ACT. Some of you did that with ease. For others, perhaps it took a little more work. Now, it's what you do with that ability that's very important. Not just the fact that you can score high on a paper and pencil test, but it's what you do about it that will matter in the end. Put that potential to work. It will pay rich dividends not only to you, but to your family, to your school, your community, and to your state and nation as well. One of the best parts about my job as a consultant at the Texas Education Agency is to be able to do these things like I'm doing today. As I look out at this auditorium filled with students, parents, and educators, I'm encouraged about our future. You see, we hear a lot of negative things about education today, and it's really nice to be able to go and look at the positive parts as well, and know there's so many good things that are happening in our state. Once again, I congratulate all of you and extend our very, very best wishes for your future in your academic endeavors.
There are two other people that I would like to recognize who play a significant role in our Talented and Gifted program here at the university. First of all, Dr. David Goldstein, who is Professor of Psychology and the Executive Director of Duke's Talent Identification Program. David. And Kathy Hargrove, who has just been elected President-elect of the Texas Association for Talented and Gifted, Director of our pre-college programs here at the university. Kathy. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Dr. Judy Merez. Judy Merez is a 1966 cum laude graduate of Baylor University. She then went on to earn her master's in history from Baylor and PhD in history from the University of Illinois. That same year, she joined the SMU Department of History, where she has taught in the field of American women's history and the history of ideas for the past 18 years. She now serves as Associate Provost for Student Academic Affairs. Her administrative responsibilities include oversight of admissions, financial aid, student academic support, and the university's honors programs. For 10 years, she has also directed the President's Scholars Program. This is our most prestigious Merit Scholars Program here at the university. Dr. Judy Merez.
Events such as today's ceremony that honor exceptionally gifted seventh graders prompt thoughts that are Janus-based. Now you may remember that Janus was that god in Roman myths who had two faces, one in front and one in the back of his head. He could look both ways at once. At least part of this audience, certainly the parents, are looking backward. They're feeling proud. They're remembering when you were babies. Even then, you were precocious. You opened your mouth and spoke in complete sentences. You conducted experiments in the sandbox with your friends, made mud pies. And you, sons and daughters, I hope that you look back today too, and you honor and thank your parents, because over the past 12, 13 years, they have strived to challenge you, to enrich your life with education outside the classroom, to support you in science fairs, readathons, special projects. They read to you when they were tired. They went out into the night to find that last obscure item needed for that social studies project due in the morning. They drilled you on conjugation. They drilled you on conjugation. They cheered you on. I hope you also recognize today past teachers who have inspired you to do your best work, to believe in yourself, who pressed you even further than you wanted to go or thought you could go. I hope and suspect that many of you have had teachers who designed special assignments to keep you challenged when you finished before anyone else in the class, who gave you books that they hoped and believed would seize your imagination, who spent time expanding on an explanation, filling the blackboard with diagrams when they could have been at lunch or on their conference period. And we look back and honor each of you students for your discipline, for your hard work, as well as the extraordinary innate intellect that you possess that has produced these splendid records. Yet there's far too much potential in McFarland Auditorium on this June afternoon to simply look backwards. We are drawn to look towards your future efforts and potential as well. You are, in fact, a critical natural resource for this nation. For intelligence will serve our nation in the 21st century far better than familiar natural resources such as oil, gas, and coal. We may find substitutes for those, but never for intelligence. Now, as you sit here today, you are itching to look forward, to go forward, to the summer, to 8th grade, to high school, to sitting someday in a college auditorium like this one as a first-year student. In fact, I would hope it would be this one. So we look forward with you and feel as well as a source of such pride of families and schools. We cast about in our own experiences. We rummage through our own memories and try to give you our very best shot at what it means to live one's life as a gifted student. Now, before I gave this talk, I asked some honor students in high school what advice they would offer if they stood before you this afternoon. Here were their suggestions. Quote, don't rub for grades. Quote, don't sit next to your best friend in boring classes. You will get in trouble. Quote, get involved in high school activities. Quote, don't get too involved in high school activities. Quote, don't feel compelled to take 5 advanced placement courses in your senior year. That's what they mean by the good dying young. Or, quote, it's like somebody said, Woody Allen or somebody, 80% of showing up, 80% of success is showing up. Now, while I would certainly not disagree with the value of showing up or with the wise advice of my high school-age friends, let me offer my own advice about your high school and college years. Number 1, take as many courses as possible from master teachers, even if they are in fields that are of not particular interest to you. You will encounter in a master teacher someone who is passionate about his or her subject, and this passion is contagious. From that master teacher, you will gain an understanding of what makes that field really exciting, why people devote their lives to studying questions in that subject. These are insights you would never gain otherwise. Number 2, never avoid a course that you know is really good because you are afraid you might not make an A. Honor students often become cautious in this respect, and risk, not caution, is the stuff of a fine education. The element our brightest students seem to lose somewhere between middle school and college is the willingness to take intellectual risks, to understand that being wrong is not a character flaw. It is part of a profound learning experience. Number 3, when you decide on a major or a career direction, select a field that you care deeply about. Not one you select simply because it is practical, or because someone else selects it for you, or because it's a family tradition. Be wary of family reunions in which the pronouncement is made, we have had 5 generations of lawyers in this family. You are certainly not going to let us down, are you? If you feel compelled to be practical, at least double major. As bright as you are, you should have no difficulty fitting 2 majors into 4 years. Number 4, don't let competition get in the way of relationships. By that I mean collaborative learning often produces better results than competitive one-upsmanship in intellectual endeavors. Also, discover that teaching and sharing knowledge with others often helps you cement it in your own mind. Obviously, I am not recommending or advocating collaborative learning on a test, unless that's what the teacher has ordered. Point 5, never allow yourself to view education and school as removed from the real world. Stay involved in broader world experiences, global issues, community service. Read the newspaper, participate in political campaigns, get involved in community issues, organize your school to take on worthy projects. You should do this Mexico, repairing community centers on Native American reservations, working in a camp for children with muscular dystrophy. The opportunities are many. And
Paul J. Falcon, Elizabeth A. Fossack, Jamie D. Fisher, Thomas E. Fisher, Melissa Flores, Gerald D. Floyd, Lauren K. Ford, Tiffany M. Foster, Amy C. Fowler, Jonathan E. Fox, Amy M. Frailer, Megan E. Freeling, Christy E. French, Linda J. French. Catherine E. Howry,
Did they leave? No, coming back to find us.
Class in 1935 that built that. It's a very little house.